I once did a blog on how we should be more like our dogs and live in a place of positive expectancy where, when they come and they love you and they're so happy to see you every single day. It's just like, it's the first time I've ever seen you. Like, could you imagine if we did that as human beings? But maybe there's something else we should do more like our dogs or cats, and that is sleep. Today we're talking a little bit about sleep because there are so many people who are deprived of sleep, self included. I just did a Twitter chat and everybody on that chat was lacking sleep. I think most people were aiming for 7 to 8 hours and we're getting somewhere between 5 and 6. And statistically, on average, that's the case for most Americans. And again, going back to our busy, really important lifestyles, sleep is something you do, when you're dead or retired or you have nothing else to do. The problem with that thinking is that it's so critical for your entire function. It impacts your immune system in a huge way, and if you don't get enough sleep, if you're chronically deprived of sleep, it can lead to obesity or diabetes, heart disease. A lot of autoimmune issues can sometimes stem from constant chronic lack of sleep that creates any kind of inflammatory responses. It also can lead to depression or anxiety and overall mental alertness, which can also lead to accidents. And it can also have a lasting impact on your memory or your ability to process information. That's the one that scares me the most because, yikes, you don't want something that's going to cause lasting damage to your brain. Everything I do with Moticize is all about how you can improve your brain. And so if you take away the sleep factor, you're already at a deficit. So getting enough sleep is so important, and yet I think with this fast-paced world and constant being on phones and computers, you're just in information overload, and our brains are going a billion miles a minute, and sometimes it's hard to calm down to sleep. So just a couple of sleep tips for you. You've heard it a million times. Don't watch technology about an hour before you go to bed, or at the very least, cut down the light on your iPhone so you're not getting that blazing light every time you get on it. Also, there's some foods that you can eat that might be able to help. It can help produce melatonin. Cherry juice is a great one. Goji berries, pineapple, orange, bananas, or even almonds or walnuts can increase or also help process more melatonin. So those are good foods to eat at night. Smells can be really wonderful. Things like lavender and bergamot or rosehip oil are really good. You could put it in a diffuser, or you can kind of rub it in your hands and just smell it, or you could also rub it on your arms or your chest or somewhere where you can smell it. So those can also help calm you, and perhaps having some kind of a ritual, whether you turn the lights down an hour before bed, maybe you read or you meditate. Also doing some form of exercise or Moticize sometime during the day definitely helps people sleep significantly better at night. And one of the things, I actually don't have that much of a difficult time falling to sleep, but sometimes during stressful periods I do, or I'll wake up and be stressed. So I always keep a notebook on the side of my bed and I'll write. I'll force myself. Sometimes just the thought of having to get up and write is so tiring that it helps me fall asleep. But if that's not enough, I'll actually just grab it, and I have a very, very low light that I can use, or sometimes I'll just write in the dark. It really doesn't matter if you can read it or you're not showing it to anyone. So just having the ability to download your thoughts so they're not just spinning in your brain is a very powerful tool. So those are some ideas to help you get those ever so important hours of sleep, just like your dog. Help you function. It will help you be happier, more productive, and give you much greater health. So on that note, sleep well and go out and shine.